Welcome back, Simple Homeowners. Today we're going to trim up a tree here, and I'm going to show you what I'm using. It's my Kombi system. I've shown that before, but I want to show how easy it is to quick release and add it on, change things up a little bit. Today I'm going to have to have an extension rod. So that's what this one here in the middle is. This is the extension, and I'm going to show you how it just goes right on to the Kombi head fairly easy. And I'm going to use the bar trimmer here to be able to trim up a tree. And this tree here is what I'm looking to do. And take a couple limbs off of that. It's hanging over our driveway, and it's kind of making a mess. So that's the plan, and we'll see how it goes. What I'm going to need to do is, this is the cutting bar that we're going to add on to. Here's the extension. It gets a little bit longer. Now this is a carbon fiber bar. It's a little bit more expensive, but when you start holding that up to the tree, it gets pretty heavy. So we're going to cut just a few limbs off here where it's hanging over the driveway. So let me show you how we'll put it together, and we'll go from there. Okay, so what we want to do is add this bar onto right here. So right here there's an arrow, and it'll match up to this arrow here. So you just slide it in together like this, and you can feel it. There it is, it's all the way in. Hook this to the extension bar, but first it's easier now because it's easier to handle. We're going to check the oil inside the bar, the chainsaw bar. So as you can see it moving around in there, and that should be enough for what we're doing for today. So now what we're going to do is just like we did with the extension arm. There's an arrow here and an arrow here. This just slides down. Try to get it lined up. It's a little greasy there, so it just slid in, arrow, arrow, and then you just tighten it up. You don't have to over tighten it, but just enough to hold it. So now we have our extension together, and it's ready to go. So this is what it's going to look like when we get it ready to go. So what I'm going to do to start it up, you just pump this 4 or 5 times. You put the choke in, you turn it, you push it in, and then all you have to do is hopefully it'll start. And as it does that a little bit, you take the choke halfway off. Just let it warm up a little bit. We're gonna try it. Gotta have that safety first. So let me get my lumberjack hat on. Oh yeah.
Nub stuck up there. There we go.
So now I have this other tree here that we're gonna try to trim up this side of it, the right side of it. So I don't need such a long pole, because this, even though it's carbon fiber, it's still, as you get out, the fulcrum, it's very heavy. So if you don't have to use it, it's probably best not to, but it's very handy when you need to use it. So we're going to take this apart here real quick, show you how quick it is to come apart. So again, you just reverse it, 2 arrows, you pull out. Set it here. Okay, So we're going to pull the extension out, just unturn it, slides right out. And this also comes with other accessories. I have the string trimmer, there's a bed edger, and also an edger, and it all goes in here. That's what's good about this, where you can just get one tool and have multiple accessories without breaking the bank, because this is a really very handy tool to have with the different attachments. All right, so we're gonna put this back on. Again, we line up the two arrows, arrow here, slides right in, and you tighten it up, and we're back in business. All right, we'll go trim up the other one here in a second. Okay, it's almost like a hedge trimmer. Hedge trimmer probably would have worked better, but then you'd have to be on a ladder. So, see how it looks here, and see if I need to trim it up some more. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit more trimming up. This time we're gonna use the STIHL GTA 26. So right here it's the GTA 26. It's just a very small, light trimmer, and it's battery operated, it's only 12 volts. Here's how you tell what the battery level is. So I have one, so I need to switch out the battery. And then this one doesn't have a reservoir. So you just dab a little bit here and around. That's all it takes, and then just run it a little bit. It slings everywhere, of course, but that's all there is to it. All right, so we're going to trim this little piece up here and show you how it goes. Just like that.
So this is good for little tiny branches like that, and good for more sizable branches too.
All right, so there we are. Got everything trimmed up. And it was just to make it look nicer. It wasn't a real big heavy duty thing. This tree over here was done. I do want to show you the size of branch that the little hand still, and again, it's only 12 volts. So it doesn't last a real long time, but it was able to cut this with no problem. Did a really good job on that. So I've been pretty happy with that trimmer. I've got two extra batteries. Originally when it came out, those batteries were over $100. So I think they're more reasonable price. I want to say they're $25, $26 each now. So I've got three total, and as long as you keep them charged, they do a pretty good job. Okay, so we're all cleaned up and ready to put everything away. Just give you a little view here of how everything looks. So the tree's trimmed up, looks pretty good. Got it all pruned up. And over here, the evergreen, it's trimmed up a little bit better. Could probably use a better job later in the fall. and just used a lawnmower to clean up some of the smaller bits. That seemed to work pretty good. And then over here we've got the remnants left trimmed up there, and we're good. That's all it took. Looks pretty good. The tools did a really good job.